Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to Moscow, and welcome to a new video. Now today I'm here at Vorobyovy Gory metro station. I'm going to take you for a walk up to a place called Sparrow Hill, and then we're going to go on a pretty cool form of transport here in Moscow. So let's go. Now before we walk out of the metro station, this is pretty unique because it's one of the few metro stations in Russia built on a bridge and built over a river. And you can see some pretty cool scenery in the background as one of the trains just pulls in on the other side. This is Luzhniki Stadium. You can see Moscow City in the background. And this is the beautiful Moscow River. And where we're heading is just up here on the left. You can see the spire of Moscow State University. And this is Sparrow Hill right in front of us, and that's where we're going now. This metro station's pretty unique because we're literally walking on a bridge over the river. And it's actually not like a small station. It's very big. And have a look at all this marble here on the walls. It's pretty sort of spectacular in terms of the engineering feat of building this station. Now, if you need a bit of a spoiler about where we're going, here we are with the sign, Vorobyovy Gory Station, Moscow cable car line. Yes, that's where we're going to go. Now, the lights aren't doing any favors to us here, but on the tiles on the floor, they've actually got a image of Luzhniki Stadium. Now, nobody knows, this was also where the 2018 World Cup final was held. So they've got a bit of a ode to the football stadium right here. So we're going to end up going up a couple of escalators. This is the first one to leave the station. And then the next one is pretty neat. So you can actually see from this map right here, this is where we actually got out of the metro. And we're just walking along here. And this is where we want to go to, Sparrow Hill. So as we come out of the actual station, you can see the undercroft here and the bridge itself where the metros are going to and from. It's really a very big bridge, and a lot of infrastructure would have needed to have been built to make this happen. I really do hope this video will be interesting. Of course, the last couple of videos on the channel are of parks, so I'm kind of continuing the theme of park videos, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, if you did watch my video about Gory Park, now this pathway here, if you walk probably about 45 minutes this direction straight, you'll actually end up in Gory Park. Now, of course, not everywhere in Moscow can be beautiful. They're doing quite a fair bit of works in this area. Now, if you're wondering how we're going to get to the top of Sparrow Hill, we need to take a quite interesting tourist attraction in Moscow called Elevator Gallery. And this is one of Moscow's newest tourist attractions in all of Moscow and Moscow region. So we're going to head on inside and check it out. Now from here, it may just look like a set of escalators. And I can completely agree, it does. It looks like you've come out of the metro. This is pretty common. When you come out of a metro station, you've got the guy here watching the escalators for any dangers or any reason to stop it. But this is a tourist attraction in Moscow. Check out how high this escalator goes. This is pretty neat. This was actually here, and it was closed for, I'm going to say, 5 or 10 years or maybe longer. And they've just recently remodeled all of this. And essentially, it's an escalator up the side of a hill. And we'll see the trees on either side here. It's a little bit hard to see out the windows, but we're literally climbing up the side of a mountain on an escalator. How cool is this? Now, if you want to see an entirely separate video of this escalator ride, I've got a standalone video that I'll put a link to, and you can check that out maybe at the end of this video, or you can watch it now if you want. I made an entire video just on this escalator gallery. All right, we're just about to the top. I'm going to obviously edit little bits in and out here because these kind of places need entirely separate videos. So I just thought I'd show you a little bit of the gallery here. Now, if anybody's into their vending machines, this is a pancake vending machine. And you can actually choose your different flavor of pancakes or ponchik. And you end up getting yourself a pancake ready-made to eat right there. Now, probably doesn't look appealing, but это вкусно? Yeah, it tastes good. So yeah, how cool is this? A pancake vending machine. And on the other side, they have the normal vending machines. You can get coffee and drinks. And this is actually red, which is the color of the metro station and the Moscow metro. You'll see inside here. Dobra Cola, Mazba, Milky Way, all of the classic vending machine foods. So this is actually the outside upper level of the escalator gallery. Now, there is a plan to open a restaurant on the upper level there. Now, there is actually some people up there working on it and remodeling it now. There's no timeline for when it'll open, but it'll be a pretty cool restaurant when it's ready. Now, the last time I came here, this walkway was all open, and now for summertime, they're obviously remodeling it, they're redoing the surface, so there'll be a nice walkway also for bicycles. So for now, we have to take the path by the road. So I was hoping for a nice pathway to walk down to Sparrow Hill, but we'll have to make do with the temporary one. They have kind of started the pathway on the other side. It's a little bit hard to see over the fence there. But this is the famous roadway that leads towards Moscow State University on the left-hand side. And then we're going to have a very nice view of Moscow in a few minutes. And just like that, by the magic of hyperlapse, we've made it to Vorobyovy, or what is known in English as Sparrow Hill. And it looks like every tourist in Moscow is also here as well. Everybody wanting to get photos and check out this view here. Looks like somebody took a scooter down here as well. Didn't take the nice walk like I did, but I'm fairly sure that everybody who's come here today has come to do the same thing I've done, which is check out the view, check out the cable car that we're going to go on. I was trying to keep it a bit of a secret, but pretty sure you'll get the gist of it from watching the video. There's even a lady here doing a commentary, talking about the area that we're in. So you can actually come on guided tours, you come by bus, and that's what a lot of people are doing here, I imagine. And then you get some time to check out this view here. And what's kind of cool about this is one of the kind of best views of Moscow that you don't have to pay for. It's completely free, of course. This is just a hill with this balustrading, but check out the view of Moscow. You can see there Luzhniki Stadium. That's actually the swimming center down there, over here. And then there's the boxing center. I'm not sure what they call it properly, but they do also have a ski jump here as well. And when I came here in winter, this was in operation. They weren't doing jumps the day I was here, but it is open during winter. And of course, during summertime, you can actually see roughly where this landing area is down here. It's a bit hard to see behind the trees now, but in wintertime it makes more sense. And then off in the distance is New Moscow City, or Moscow City, depending on what people like to call it. And you can see all the skyscrapers, and then the contrast of all of the classic Russian buildings off in the distance in this direction. So the other less popular way of getting around Moscow, apart from all of the rentable scooters, are these rentable bikes. Now you can actually download an app and rent these. And there is a bit of a secret to them. If you return them in under 60 minutes, it's actually free. If you go over the 60-minute mark, there's a per minute charge. You just need to download the app. Now, it's kind of a secret, but not a secret. I think a lot of people know about it. I think most people tend to like the scooters more than the bicycles though. But if you can get a nice flat kind of section of Moscow, it's a great way to enjoy the city. So the background music they were playing here was awfully loud, so I thought I'd just jump in and just talk you through a little bit of what we're seeing here. This is a zip line that went from Sparrow Hill all the way down to the river. And actually there was, I would imagine, husband and wife, or maybe girlfriend and boyfriend doing it together. Interesting, the lady actually is holding a big selfie stick with it looks like a GoPro on it as well. Pretty sure that might be included in the package of you doing it. They're actually in a kind of harness, and they get clipped into these kind of seats. You can see them on that lower left-hand side there by the girl and the guy's feet. And then this guy kind of hangs over the edge. He's trying to basically just let people know to lean back. And then they give you a bit of a countdown, and you start whizzing down the mountain. And it's very cool. I kind of want to do it now. So unfortunately the music playing here is awfully loud. So I just had to voice over that little part there, but it was kind of neat. Now, I don't have any plan to go ziplining today, but I guess if the first person who wants to leave me a donation alert or a super chat to do it, I'll take the money and I'll go, especially for the video. Now, if anybody's wondering if this equipment is Russian or it's from the Soviet Union, it's very hard to see, but just here, there's a Made in Canada logo right there, and also on this bolt over here as well, Made in Canada. So it's not Russian, so don't worry too much. I'm pretty sure the Canadians know what they're doing, all the way to the bottom of the hill. Now, of course, today I'm going to take the more tame way of getting down this mountain, or this hill. We're going to take the cable car. I'm going to have one last look at the view, and we're going to head on over there. There really is something about this view from here that kind of draws so many people to Vorobyovy to see all of Moscow. Now, of course, we don't get the full view entirely. There is actually these binoculars here. In most places in the world you'd have to pay, but they're free. You can have a quick look at the sights, and then if you're really wanting to get tricky, you've got to get that right angle for the photograph. And I don't think I could bring myself to hang on the edge like this, but I guess for the sake of the view, and lots of people continuously turning up to check out the view out over Moscow. It's a kind of a bit of a tourist spot, even if you're a local. I'm forever curious where everybody's from that comes up here, because it's a nice walk from the metro station, and then once you get to the bottom there, you can walk around the park where is Luzhniki Stadium. Now, there is actually a signboard here for the cable car. Now, this is the secret, and the real reason we've come on a Monday is because it's only 120 rubles to ride it on a Monday. If we came on a holiday or on the weekends, 450 rubles. So 120, we have to take the ride. The actual signboard here is actually in English and Russian. So we're actually up the top here, and there's actually a middle station that you can go on the walking path, and then we're going to end up on the other side. And there is the football stadium. It looks very small in that picture, but it's quite a lot bigger. Probably the picture's not to scale, of course. But that's kind of neat. They've got an English sign for everybody. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody has got the same idea as me, and everybody's coming for the 120 ruble cable car. And it's only on Mondays, so if you're going to come, avoid coming with your wife or girlfriend on the weekend come on a Monday and then you can pay for a cheap date on the cable car. Now it makes sense why there's lots of people hanging around, and I didn't realize it, but on Mondays they only open 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. and then the rest of the week where you pay a higher fee, it's open from 10 or 11. So we've got just a little while to wait, but no worries, it's a beautiful sunny day today. Now while I'm waiting for the cable car to open, I wonder if this is the Sparrow from Sparrow Hills. And I'm sure he got camera shy and flew away. So I thought I'd take a little bit of a walk by the university. Now this is a huge place. It's not really possible just to have a wander here because it's just so big. But they've got this very big garden here in the middle. Now the sun is kind of in the wrong direction today, but it's still a very beautiful view. Now I'm not the best at facts, but there's a couple that I think I know, and you're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong. This is one of the 7 Sisters buildings in Moscow, and you can see the star at the top there. Now there is others around Moscow and Moscow region that you can actually see. Now there is a very well-known video that I've seen on YouTube, and other YouTubers have tried to do it, and it's to see all 7 of them in the same day, in the same video. Now they may seem very close to each other, but they're really not. They're quite a fair distance apart. And the other fact that I know, as you can see the water sprayer truck just going by there, they cool off the roads in summertime, is the other fact I know is that this is the tallest university building in the world. Now someone will have to correct me if I've said the wrong Guinness World Record quote, but it's a pretty big place. Now I'm a fair distance away and it's big. Imagine if you got this a little bit closer. And then with the university behind me, and then looking towards Sparrow Hill, you can see these beautiful flowers. Now I think they're kind of just coming into bloom from when they were planted a few months ago. And that view off in the distance. Nice spot if you've got a window in your classroom in your university behind me, and this is your view all day. Now I'm getting a little bit closer to the main entrance of the university. It's a good way to spend a little bit of time before that cable car opens. And they've got this very nice kind of pond here, and I wonder at some point if they've got big water fountain shows on these kind of structures, as there's a duck just on his own there, relaxing, and such a nice spot. I can see why so many people come up here and come for a walk, and especially on a beautiful day like today. And then walking right up to the entrance, it's a pretty impressive building. It's absolutely huge, and all of these windows. I wonder if anybody's in there studying today, being a Monday after the weekend. Wow, check out these columns. These things are just huge. It's interesting, all the people coming to take photos just like myself and just walk around the building and just be in awe of the size of the place, because I really don't think the video and the photographs do it justice until you're kind of standing here, and how kind of much further the buildings go on in the distance there. Not just this main grand entrance. There's a few doors right there to go inside, but it is very impressive to be standing under. I've actually never walked up here myself, so this is the first time I've come this close to the building. But wow, it's very cool. I wonder if anybody watching the video has studied at this university and maybe looked out these windows from their classroom, kind of stared off into the distance of Moscow. It'd be very interesting if anyone comments that they've either studied here or they spent time here. Maybe they were even a teacher here. Imagine some of the subscribers of the channel know this university very well and maybe parked in this car park, or most people would come here by metro. There's actually Universitet metro station not too far from here. Obviously, university metro station, it makes complete sense. More people kind of gather around for photos, and why not? So after that nice walk to the university, we've come back just on the opening time and have a look at the line. Now, most of it's because people are waiting to buy tickets. You can actually buy them online ahead of time and you get a QR code. There is a ticket booth just behind over here somewhere. And then there's a ticket station inside before you get on the cable car. So I'm going to do that option. So I'm going to jump in this line. It's actually moving fairly quickly now because there was just a lot of families and groups kind of crowded up together, but no worries at all. Part of the reason I didn't want to stand in the line is it's actually a really warm day today, and being the Australian that I am, we love the shade, so I thought I'd just kind of wait in the shade for the line to kind of shorten a little bit. Although it does look long from here, it's not too bad, and it is moving, so that's good. So just like Disneyland, when you come on the ride, you think you've just got to the entrance, and there's another line inside. And where we came from outside right here, people still lining up. All right, I found the spot. Well, I found the entrance at least. There's even a cafe here, but I'm pretty sure nobody wants to sit and have a coffee. But they have one all the same. You can see the view already. All right. Nice and easy. Scan the ticket and head out to the cable cars. What are they called? Cars. And there's just a short line to get on the different cars now. It's not too bad once we're up the top. All that lining up seems for nothing when you get up here because you're kind of distracted by the view a little bit too much and how cool this ride is. And one last look at the view before we get on in the car. Check it out. And you can actually see the ski field down there where I was in winter time, which is pretty neat. And they've actually got the car running for the skiers, but there's no snow. Have a look at this huge cable wheel. I don't know what that's called, and all the wheels right there. And it's essentially not stopping, so it's continuously running. So you just have to jump on it when the door opens and the door closes. And people are obviously coming from the bottom up, and we're heading on down. Gangloff. I wonder if it's a Swiss cable car. Gangloff. What do you reckon? Looks like maybe the next car or the one after. And they've even got the spot for the skis there. How cool is that? As it heads on down. Bye. Hello. How are you? Oh, nice and fast. Это YouTube канал, okay? Okay. No worries. So I was lining up there with one family, and there was a space in this car, and I'm here now with some other ladies. Oh, how cool is this? That's pretty cool. Check the ski field right here. This is really cool. Wow. You can see Luzhniki Stadium just in front of us there. And then looking back up, you can see the station when we got on. And all this grass here, which is normally the ski fields. And actually these yellow looking objects here are the snow blowers in winter time. And right now, of course, they're not open. It looks like they've even got some volleyball courts right there. Volleyball, skiing. We can do everything here in Moscow. So we're just approaching the mid-stop here. And I'm pretty sure we'll all end up staying on. And then you can actually get off here and you could go to things like the volleyball, which is behind us right there, or continue on to the lower level where we're going to go across the river. This looks like we're coming up to the cool part here where we end up crossing the Moscow River. And then on the left hand side here we can see Moscow City or New Moscow City, and then the other parts of Vorobyovy or Sparrow Hill on the left, and check out the apartments there. And then all of the different river boats run along the river here, so you can do the day trips. Very nice. Whoa. Woohoo. We go to the highest point now, and then we're gonna head down. I hope everybody can swim. Can everybody swim? Oh, 1, 2, maybe. Wow, how cool is this? And check the view looking back to Moscow State University. You can just see the spire over here. I've lost a little bit where everything is. And the cables running across the river. As we come down to Luzhniki Park, right here. This is a beautiful spot to take a walk around as well. This park is huge. And of course we know the stadium from the World Cup right there. As we get ready to deboard. And they even have VIP cabins. And these ones have just got the 4 seats in them. That was the one right behind me. Why did I not end up on that one? I think you have to pay extra for that one. The guy's shutting the door very quickly. So, yeah, that was very cool. And you can see the next one just arriving. Oh, these are the family that I was lining up with. Здравствуйте, hello. Uh-huh. Wow, very cool. And then after walking out through the 3 different exits, there's the line to come back to the top. So a lot of people that probably walked around the park and then decided to do the upward cable car. There's the line as well. And I really wonder if everybody's taking advantage of this Monday special, or if they're just coming because it's Monday and it doesn't really matter, because there's a lot of people here. And there is a big difference in the ticket price. I mean, if you came on the weekend, so instead of 120 rubles on a Monday, if you come on the weekend, it's 450 rubles. So that's 3 or 4 times the price. So I've just walked out from the cable car kind of building at the exit there, and then they've got a painting masterclass, and it's set up right here, and they've got a big screen here if you can't see close enough, but the artist is going to paint on this big easel on the stage over there, and then everybody can follow along and try to be an artist or a architect, and you're actually going to be drawing the stadium. So he's going to teach you some techniques about how to do it. But how cool is this out in the Monday sunshine? And then over here they've got the registration desk, and you even get a free bottle of water, you get the easel, you get some paints, and you get beautiful ladies. I thought we were painting ladies, but I've got to paint the building. No, so how cool is that? All for free. So how cool is that? They actually invited me to sit down and do some drawing, but I'm really not that kind of minded. I'm much happier in front of the camera, chatting to you guys, showing you around Moscow. We're gonna go for a little bit of a walk along the river, and I think we might be kind of getting to our kind of time limit for how long I like to make the video, so we'll have a look at the river, shall we, for a little bit. As we get right by the river, you can see the cable cars going right over the top of us right here. That's pretty neat to see. And this is exactly where we came into right here. And then we're now on the other side of the river. So we really haven't gone that far in terms of where we started at the beginning of the video, because you can actually see off in the distance there, Vorobyovy metro station. You can actually see the car bridge going right over the top of it. So we essentially walked along the top path over here of Sparrow Hill, and then we came to the lookout that you can kind of see off in the distance. Again, the sun's coming in that opposite direction now, and you know, we've really done probably about a 5-kilometer loop. Maybe it feels like more than that, but and then you could actually now walk this entire path all the way to Gory Park. If you followed this path, actually on either side of the river, you'd end up in the same place. But for now, we're here at Luzhniki Park. I think it's called Luzhniki Park, with the stadium off in the background, and then there's all sorts of different sports fields here. There's tennis, rugby, football, and then there's the indoor stadiums with boxing, gymnastics. There's even judo, taekwondo. It's really a lot of facilities. Obviously, this was a main hub for when the Olympics was on here as well back in 1980. So they've kind of just continued on and left the park as it was since then and just kind of built on it. And have a look at this beautiful walk along the river here. It's not the cleanest river in the world. I mean, would you swim in it? I guess depending on how hot it is or how willing you are to climb that rail, but it's a really cool boat going past over there. A little bit different to most of them that we see. So yeah, what a nice spot. So we've come to the end of another video, and I thought I'd end it here at Luzhniki swimming pool, swimming center. I don't know what they're calling it, but I've actually done a video here showing everybody what it looks like, and I thought I'd put that as the ending video. It'll come up in a second. So yeah, if you like the video today, walking around Sparrow Hill, give it a thumbs up. Post a comment, let me know what you think. Have you been here before? Have you been on the cable car? Maybe you studied at the university. It's a pretty neat place to have a walk around and, you know, spend a few hours like I've done. I've probably spent a lot more hours than what I filmed because it's just interesting to walk around, and especially on a beautiful day like today. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Thanks everybody who's a subscriber. A lot of new people that have joined the channel in the last 7 days, like really a lot of people. So thank you so much for anybody that's new to the channel. Thanks also to channel members. You're the lifeblood of the channel, and especially a lot of the original subscribers who became channel members. Thank you so much. That next video is going to pop up right here now. Actually, it's going to be of Luzhniki Stadium, well, of the swimming center. So you can check that out right after you've watched this video. Maybe you haven't seen it before. And I'm off on another adventure. Bye, everybody.